Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about Bitcoin and the current pullback that we've got in the market. And what I want to discuss is on our last major market update for Bitcoin around 20 days ago now, up at these highs, discussing this pullback in the market as everyone was getting really bullish up here. We was the ones making them bearish videos outlining the potential pullback to around these levels, outlining some Elliott wave and RSI analysis with the liquidity and psychology going hand in hand with the pullback right now. You will see a lot of people now talking about the lower and lower prices, but these are the same people that up at these highs were saying, oh, we're going to 40k now. Now at these lows, these are the people that are going to be saying, well, we're going to go break new lows. Understand the psychology of this, understand the psychology of the market and how these manipulative moves to the upside and to the downside generate liquidity and how we can possibly benefit from that. So what I want to do is just do some more Elliott wave analysis on the current pullback for Bitcoin and how we can potentially be setting up for the next major bullish move for Bitcoin. So guys, if you like the video, give it a like, of course. Any comments, subscriptions, always appreciated. Let's get straight into the video. So to add a little bit of context about what we're talking about here, this was our last video that we made on Bitcoin back in early July, just outlining the incoming pullback that we were seeing and some Elliott wave structures and the RSI analysis, outlining why we wanted to see a bit of a retrace in the market, come back up for Bitcoin and then hit the low for the RSI and give us some real hidden bullish divergence. So what I'm going to do is just jump back into the charts. And one thing you will note is from them videos that we made back in early July, we broke the high once and broke the high again. So I'm not saying this played out absolutely perfectly here for Bitcoin and fully to plan, because it didn't. We broke the high twice, but I think the premise still remains the same here as a 335 correction. A bit of accumulation going on here with people now beginning to get scared of this big pullback here, as what we've seen develop in the RSI down at the lows. We're seeing real hidden bullish divergence here. Have a look at that. These highs that we are dropping down to up here and the lows of the RSI down to these levels, a major hidden bullish divergence there. So what I'm not saying is I think this is completely the bottom, because this is just not bottoming structure from what we've seen in Bitcoin in the past, and right now it's not looking like bottoming structure. But at the minute I think we are in a key zone where we are more likely to see a bottom than we was up at the highs when everyone was calling for higher prices. Now we have returned down to this zone, the zone we've been looking out for at these clusters of consolidation for a long while. This is now the time, I think, when we need to start developing a bit of a plan for when we do bottom and when Bitcoin gets ready for the next major impulse to the upside. So when we take a look at the current price action for Bitcoin and we look at it through the same lens as what we was before. From before we was looking at this as a potential three, and then we was looking for 5 from these highs, but obviously we've gone and set higher waves. So what we can do is just reevaluate the count here and say that potentially we've got a 3 wave move here for Bitcoin from this high, 3 there for Bitcoin and 3 to the upside there for Bitcoin. And what we're potentially expecting here for Bitcoin is it doesn't matter how we count it, whether it's a 535 or a 335, we're still going to be expecting 5 waves in this downside move to finish off this correction, which is the beauty of Elliott wave really, when you've got a couple of counts that give the same ending wave. And what we're looking for here for Bitcoin is 5 waves to the downside. And whether we want to start the count from up here where we've clearly ended a wave, 5 to the downside, potentially a flat correction in the middle there and looking for another 5, or whether we want to count this full thing as 5. It can get a bit complicated, but this is where you take the nuances of Elliott wave and use your experience, which is what I'm trying to do here. And what I'm expecting here for Bitcoin is for the market participants that are now short in the market down at these lows for Bitcoin to be absolutely crucified by the market and the market makers to go and take their liquidity. Whether we take it now or we've got further down to go and then we take it, I think Bitcoin is preparing a major impulse to the upside as everyone is starting to get really bearish down at these lows once again. And one of the great things about having a YouTube channel is because we was calling this pullback from up here, we have a sense of accountability. We can say, yeah, we didn't get the final top here, but I was not saying to go and short the market up at the highs there. I was saying we just need to prepare for the next major pullback, and we've got the pullback now. We've been outlining this 335 count to the downside, or a 535, however you want to count it. We've been saying it for so long now. So what we can do is just use the trend-based Fibonacci. Now we've got the clear highs of the range and potentially some lows coming in from the top of the range to the bottom, back to the highs. look at where we are. These are the key zones that we want to be looking out for, the 1.272 and the 1.414 resting slightly above there. What I would say is, in Bitcoin's history, I've seen us do this before, where it potentially stalls out a little bit, gives us a little bit of fake out to the upside, then goes in for that final kill to the downside. And that could be your final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the downside. Everyone gets really bearish down here at these clusters of consolidation, 1.618. So I think your real target there for Bitcoin is, I think, your lower boundary, 28,666. Obviously, you can front run that. The market can front run it. We can just go from current levels. But when we've got the waves and we've got the set waves to the upside and downside, this gives us some real key levels and some really nice key structural supports at the clusters of consolidation that we've been talking about for quite a while. And obviously, if you take a zoomed out perspective here, we could potentially even sort of have a 5 there going in for an expanding flat in the middle and have a somewhat of a further correction. So your zones on your charts, I think, want to be at the 1.618 at 28,600 all the way down to the 1-to-1 extension of this trend-based Fibonacci at 28,200. And the potential further zone that we've got down here at this big bullish candle at the 2.414 and the 1.618, around 26,000 to 27,000, 27,139. So they're going to be the key zones I'm going to be watching for Bitcoin. Not really looking to jump back into the market. I've had a look at the open interest on the market. A lot of people seem to be entering along here. Won't surprise me to see the market maker send them higher, get that fourth wave, give them a bit of success. Everyone starts adding to the longs, liquidity is created, final dip, then we get ready for the impulse to the upside. So lower time frame, Bitcoin, bit choppy, not really looking to do much, sitting back, relaxing, letting the market do the work, letting the market come to us. And when we take a zoomed out perspective here on Bitcoin, we can see this is a monthly retest of an order block on the monthly time frame. Looking at some higher time frame analysis also gives us a bit of confluence to that retest that we've got going down at these lows. Can we wick below and close above? It would be absolutely perfect to do so. Get them shorts and longs out of the market. Everyone leverage, get them out of the market, ready for the next major move. We've got a free drive to the downside, 1, 2, 3 hits to the low with that wick there. Big bullish break a candle here to the upside, filling in some of this liquidity straight away, just like we did back here. Market came back down to this monthly cluster of consolidation, monthly order block, and then sent it to the upside. The monthly candle doesn't look great at the minute, but no monthly candle ever looks great before then turning to the upside, and everyone has missed the move. So I think the point is, guys, we've been looking for this pullback for a long time. Over 3 weeks now, the market has now finally pulled back. The bears become bulls, the bulls become bears. People are wrong-footed once again, and people will just get liquidated left, right, and centre. So we're just sitting back, relaxed, in spot positions, expecting this pullback. Nothing to be worried about, in my opinion. We've got our high time frame thesis, we've got the lower time frame targets for potential entries for BTC. Invalidations probably below this monthly cluster of consolidation, so a risk to reward again on the lower time frame. Not looking too great, bit choppy, but higher time frame zoomed out. Can't go wrong there, guys. So I think just sit back, relax, let the market do the work. The market is following the plan very, very nicely. Higher time frame, still looking at these key levels, Fibonacci retraces that we've been looking at since the bottom of the market. So if you want to go check out them videos from all the way back here, feel free to do so. If it's your first time watching, subscribe, like the video. Any comments, once again, of course, appreciated. It's not financial advice, but don't forget, guys, sit back, relax, and let the market do the work. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.